Hi, this is Ann with Finance on the Offense, and today I'm going to go over I-Series bonds, otherwise known as I-bonds, and these are something that I've heard about maybe about 13 times over the last 2 weeks, so they're a super hot item. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here's why everyone's talking about these. If you buy $10,000 worth of these I-bonds in May of 2022, and then you keep it for at least a year because you have to keep this bond for at least a year, you'll make 9.6% on the first 6 months. At least this is the projected percentage that comes from the March Consumer Price Index data. So what are I-bonds or series I-bonds? They're basically savings bonds issued from the US government. And the way savings bonds work is that you buy them and then you hold them, sometimes until maturity, and you make interest on them the whole time. Now, I-bonds mature at 30 years, but before you freak out, you do not have to hold them that long. That just means they'll continue to pay you interest for 30 years, and after that, they won't pay interest anymore. You can actually take your I-bond out with no penalty after 5 years. So I really recommend, holding it for 5 years. Now, penalty or not, you have to hold it for at least a year. So you can actually cash it out a year after you buy it, but you will pay penalties. And that penalty is this: you'll forfeit the interest from the last 3 months. Now, the interest on these I-bonds is compounded every 6 months, and the interest rate is assessed every May and November. So if you get one now in May 2022, you're locked in for 6 months at the 9.6% rate. Then in November of 2022, you'll find out what the new percentage rate is, and it changes every 6 months. And it's based on inflation. Just 1 year ago, these bonds were making 3.5%, which really was not worth it, and so no one was really talking about them at all back then. But inflation has gone crazy, as you've probably noticed, so the interest rate on these has really gone up with inflation. So let's just calculate how much you would make if the May rate and the November rate turned out to be 9.6%. The maximum you can put in these bonds is $10,000 per person. So anyway, at the end of 1 year, you will have made $960 on your $10,000, which is a pretty sweet deal. Now, I would recommend holding these 5 years, but if the interest rate gets really, really low, it's going to make sense to get them out of there, even with the penalty, and invest in something that can get you a better return. So here are some things to know about I-bonds, some of which we've already covered. First up, these are super safe. They're backed by the US Treasury. So those of you who love buying CDs because you're pretty much guaranteed not to lose money, these are as safe as CDs. The second thing is you can only cash them in after holding them a year, but you'll have to wait 5 years if you want to avoid penalties. Third, there's some really nice tax benefits with these. You don't have to pay state or local taxes on them, just federal. And if you use them to pay for college, there's no taxes on them at all. Also, you only have to pay those federal taxes on the interest when you redeem the bond. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about them from a tax perspective until you actually cash them out. Now, I mentioned that the max per year per person is $10,000, but if you use your tax refund to buy them, you can add another $5,000 to that, making the maximum $15,000. Another thing to know is there is only one place you can buy these, and that's at treasurydirect.gov. Make sure it ends in .gov. Anything else could be a scam. All right, so I'm out here on treasurydirect.gov, and this site looks like it was made in 1995, but it is the only place you can buy the actual I-bonds. And I'll leave this link in the description below. So here are some instructions. You'll want to click here to open an account, and then come down here to apply now. We'll do individual and submit. You'll fill out all of your information, and then you'll submit again. And then you'll go from there. And hopefully from that point, it's pretty easy to just buy one. All right, I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you liked it and you want to see more videos like this, just hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, and you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.